Hi everyone, welcome to Imola race day. It's race day at Imola, is the other way around of saying it. And I'm cautiously optimistic, but also I feel like Oscar Piastri is just going to absolutely dominate this race. I feel like if Piastri comes out the first chicane ahead, I literally don't see anything other than, even at that stage, the McLaren 1-2, even though Lando bottled qualifying. Hopefully we're live, by the way. Hopefully everything is working. Do let me know. Welcome everyone in chat. Let me double check. Ugh. Actually, we should be live. Surely we're live, because I've got this other overlay on. Are we? Yes. Yes, we're there. It's all good. Well, let us know how you're doing in the chat. And thought we'd browse some of the news, actually. See what's going on. I can't believe they're going to take Imola off the calendar as well. But on the one hand, I'm like, oh, there's too many races. On the other hand, I don't want them to drop Imola. So. Yeah, Carlos Sainz doing well. Ferrari, the converse, not doing well. Welcome Aaron, Paul Spike, welcome Blacker, welcome Susie, Abidium, Chaya as well. Martin Harmson, Marisa Dark Cloud. YT, sorry, there was a delay on my chat thing. Looks like 0% chance of rain. Didn't we used to put the chat here? Could do it. Verstappen driving an iRacing. He must have his rig set up. And that looks like the Nordschleife to me. Where is that on the Nordschleife? Where is that on the Nordschleife? Is that after you come out of the carousel and then you're kind of going up? Let me know if you know. Parts changed under Parc Ferme. McLaren laser lens glass for Aston Martin. This season, Piastri has already out-qualified Norris the same number of times as in all of the 24 races last season. Yeah, people were saying, when I was backing Piastri, people were like, oh, why are you backing Piastri? He's clearly not as good as qualifying in Lando. Well, let's have a look now. They can't both be number one. One of them's a number two driver, and it's definitely Lando Norris. It's definitely Lando right now. Chai, honestly looking forward to what Piastri can do. He seems to be pushing and showing what he's got. Welcome, first Watchalong. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Watchalong. Everyone will welcome you in. By the way, what do we think about the Behrman situation yesterday? Did they just really mess up? Verstappen lap record, that's been very controversial. Make a video on that. Who won in the F2? He was at Monaco, I think. Yeah, not looking good for Tifosi. That's why I'm wearing a McLaren shirt today. Sonoda, they're just rebuilding the car, basically. Michael's watching from Piastri Land, very excited. Very nice. Power unit. Yeah, but they're going through components, aren't they? So they have to take... Because it's a bit harsh, isn't it? But I suppose that's the way it is. It's a bit harsh because when you think about it, the regulations on replacing parts are meant to be about reliability, right? And cost, but reliability. But it doesn't take into account if you have a massive crash. Now he's just going to be penalised for the rest of the season. I guess it's another incentive not to crash.
Okay, crack on.
Michael says they should let Behrman through. To be honest, they should just let both of them through and give themselves more time to work it out. That's what I think. It was clear they were panicking because there was such a delay. So just let 11 cars in, or whatever it was. 16 cars. That's what I think they should. That's what I would have done if I was in race control. What would you have done, chat, yesterday with the Behrman situation? Verstappen and Piastri tied for number of poles. I mean, what does that say about Lando? I thought this was like an AI picture. There is the start of the new car. The new tub. That can't be a thing. That has to be absolute nonsense. Although I have had issues with my helmet lifting at high speed. The airflow coming in underneath lifts it up. But that's why they have a little windscreen there. A little tiny windscreen. Welcome, Koila Shenke. Oscar Piastri has won 4 of the first 6 races. In the 27 seasons this has been pulled off. 1976 was the only season in which said driver failed to win. Who won in 76? Who won in 1976? Was it Lauda? Oh yeah, it was Lauda. No, it was Hunt. It was Hunt who won and Lauda failed, right? Can you believe that's 50 years ago? If you want to feel old. In 1990, that was 14 years ago. So it was recent history. 14 years ago from today is... Surely not. Yeah. 2011. And 50 years ago from 1990 was literally the Second World War. George 94, if Norris still thinks he's number 1 driver for McLaren, I bet he does think he is. And also, I think the team is probably having to go through a readjustment where they're adjusting to Piastri being the number 1 dude. Qualifying championship. Just qualifying points they've worked out. Lauda lost to Hunt by 1 point in 76. There we go. That one did go down to the wire. That's an all-time season. Who are you backing to win today, chat? Is anyone not backing Piastri? Anyone brave there not saying Oscar Piastri? Brave or stupid? Was it 67? It was 76. Who won in 67? Jackie Stewart? That's really embarrassing for Norris in the qualifying standings there. It also shows just how far off Ferrari are. It's arguably not great for Kimi as well, but he's a rookie, so we'll give him all that slack. And look how impressive it is for Williams. That's a really interesting graph, actually. Welcome, JS. Jack Brabham. Another New Zealand driver, right? I said that like Piastri's New Zealand. He's not. He's Australian. He's Australian. Okay, I was wrong. I was so wrong I was almost right. I was wrong on both counts. Can I claim that one? McLaren was New Zealand, wasn't he? Yeah, this is really interesting. It shows how far down Aston have been and how impressive it's been here. And Liam Lawson. Look at the destinies Lawson and Hadjar. Okay, we're confirmed. Australian confirmed. Perez under investigation. What's going on with the FIA these days? Car 22. Sonoda. New turbo. New engine as well. It's only offensive if New Zealanders confuse Australians. Okay. Good to know. That's crazy, Verstappen sending a lap record in traffic. Like, he is clearly the world's fastest driver. And it really is annoying the GT3 drivers. Because the GT3 drivers, and I know some GT3 drivers, if we're honest, GT3 driving and GT driving is all mixed up in kind of like gentleman driving and sponsorship, etc. Right? So, like, yes, you have incredible drivers in GTs like the Van Tor brothers, Barry Engel, Kevin Estre. You know, these guys are really good. But in the pyramid of GT drivers, you start to get into a lot of like, oh, I'm a GT driver because I'm a pro for an AM that finances me, etc. And it basically is completely money dominated. And Verstappen has come through this pyramid, even though he's kind of like, you could say nepotistic, whatever, but he's clearly the fastest driver in Formula 1, I would say. And he's just faster than the GT3 drivers, and it really annoys them. Like, it questions, it genuinely threatens to undermine, like, how GT driving is viewed, because it might start to look all a little bit amateur if Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap record in traffic. I'm not even joking. It's, like, existential. Would you say Verstappen was driving an F1 mindset? I mean, I've only seen some clips of the onboards. I might the helicopter. I might try and see if I can find some onboards, and do some stuff like that. But welcome, Jasu. Race worn tires. I just think the cars just looked so good back then. You have to remember back then, it was, even as an Adrian Newey designed car, it's still really all about the engine. And now we've come into like aero and downforce and floors and everything. I mean, look, look at how small the floor area is. You compare that with the car these days.
Keep trying.
I don't understand how I'm scrolling and just seeing the same stuff. Max Verstappen's insane. I should make videos like this. That's actually quite similar to my style. In fact, I might try and find this image here. That's quite a good image. Because I do have that wheel. Or the wheel he uses in his main rig, the Ultimate. So many opportunities for videos. Ultimate owner of Williams confirmed. Mysterious investment. That's quite a nice thumbnail style. That's a really good thumbnail. And all they've done is taken the replay, but to package it like that and actually to get the replay and do it, like, fair play. Fair play. Live in Lewis, I thought it said. Anyone going to watch Le Mans? I am going to go to Le Mans. I am going to Le Mans, actually. Not for the 24 hours, I'm going for something else. So, welcome, Carlo Laures, like 32. Welcome on board. T says, I think I personally, I think modern IndyCars look better than F1, even with the aero screen. Yeah, unfortunately, it probably is going to be the last race. I was watching the drivers' parade. George Russell was like, yeah, sorry, not enough room for all tracks. Here we go, possible race strategies. Ah, don't tell me it's all going to be a one-stopper. They're all going to one-stop, aren't they? Tell you what, one-stopping has killed Formula 1. In these, and can we get refueling back? Even with Formula E with the pit boost, it just brings chaos. It's just bringing chaos. Loki, yeah, IndyCars, even with the aero screen, look finer. Don't they sound better as well? Don't they sound better? Right, let's get this thing rolling. As we inch closer. For the Grand Prix, as the cars are out on circuit. By the way, chat, we need to do a much better job on the likes. I brought with me the official Mercedes F1 Formula 1 wheel, which I want to show you. But I'm going to bring it out when we get to 100 likes. When we get to 100 likes, I'm going to bring it out. So smash that like button. Let's try and have a good strat today on the like front. There we go, Chaya's on it. Dutch live blog uploaded a pic with a diagram about the different tyres. Yeah, so I don't think the Astons have any new medium tyres. So what does that mean for that strat then? Because you can't go on the softs because they're way too softs. I mean, they bought such soft tyres, I was hoping for a 2-stop or 3-stop. But... because the way they do it is like C6, C5. No one's actually going to understand that. Like, they think people, but they won't. Maybe put some... let's try this. By the way, I think for Monaco qualifying, we might be doing something cool. We might be doing a some kind of partner thing. If you remember last year when we gave out pizza, like that button, indeed. So, yeah, I mean, Alonso is going to be screwed here, but let's see what it says here. Oh, 0. Yeah, this is not going to be a good look. This is what I predicted with Alonso, that it will just, this is the season where it all goes to pot. But they did have a very good qualifying, so I'll hold that thought slightly. I will hold that thought. Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan's still around. Is he technically now reserve driver? Is he back in case Colapinto... oh, here we go. So he is... well, why is he now... what car... okay. He is driving the Formula car, right? Right? He's in the sim. Zach Brown driving a car. New intermediate tyre. Is it the one on the right hand side? It looks way less grooved, right? Guess you can't tell how much running there's been. Yeah, P5 and P8. Yeah, drivers are out on circuit. You can see on the map. Drivers are going through the pit lane. Going around. Colapinto is a professional surfer. Really? He's a professional crasher at the moment. I would say there's decent pressure on Colapinto here, like, because I said this at Brazil last year. When he crashed at Brazil, I said, I don't think his stock is as high as some people make out. Like, he could still be used as a sacrificial lamb to save face. Oh, different Colapinto. Was a good shot of Doohan smirking after Colapinto crash. Hopefully that's the one where they've just taken a smirk completely out of context and just said, oh, this is Colapinto smirking. Classic behaviour. Yeah, 33 minutes to go till the start of the race. I'm very excited. Well, there we go, Iram. I predicted your question. Predicted it. Ferrari are going to have a pretty bad race, I think. And this could go terribly for Ferrari. F1 steering wheels over the years. Getting chunkier. Still chunkier. Ah, the Momo. That's a real. So hang on, the size as well, like Fangio era. Like I do have a wheel like that here. That I need to unbox. Like I bought this wheel. I haven't done anything with it. Getting smaller and smaller. Senna, Momo, small. And then, okay, like, now we're getting to the R... Where is my RS track? Like that. Jack Villeneuve, 97 Williams, maybe? I don't know. McLaren. Carbon fibre. That Roush Schumacher's BMW. Honda. Jensen Button's Honda. Even then, like, that screen looks... There's no real screen there. 2014. It's amazing how that wheel is just carbon fibre. Like, it's carbon fibre on the front, carbon fibre on the back. There'll be some weather sealing inside for the PCB and everything. But it is just carbon fibre. Yeah, lots of buttons. You probably hit a limit on how many buttons you can actually fit before they get too small and annoying. And how much a driver can actually interface with. Asanda Siyabonga, I wonder who's going to get pushed off. Michael says Sky Sports coverage being misleading. What's happened there? What are they being misleading about? Mick Doohan, he knows a thing about winning championships. Yeah, Pierre Gasly hit a rabbit in free practice. That's a pretty cool poster. Just shows how much better the old livery and car was. Like, it was just so much better. The cars were so much smaller that you felt like it was more of an extension of the driver. Look where Alonso's helmet is. And where his legs were. And then the engine's here. So you felt like it was more an extension, like your feet are kind of close to the wheels. And then you've got this engine pushing you. And it feels like a big go-kart. Whereas now, it feels like you're driving a, I don't know, like a cruise ship or something. And actually the driver, like visually, symbolically, is a much smaller part, an obvious part of the car. Whereas here, I felt like the driver was still like, you start with the driver and the car's built about him. Now you have the car and you just slot a driver in. You could easily remove the driver. From that visual perspective. Welcome, John Kendall. I love Sunday morning's coffee, GTO and F1. What a combination. Malathi Kadama's rooting for Piastri all the way from South Africa. Getting Snowden second Red Bull hasn't been a big success. Yeah, good point. The McLaren MP4 was so much shorter. The driver was so close front wing. Yeah, and you could just... What you could tell is that when they were side by side, they were able to get much closer because you're physically... These might seem like small proportions of differences, but I really don't think it is. When you go back and look at the old footage, and it felt like a driver was really propelling themselves around a circuit, and you'd be getting on top of the apex. They're just so big now because they've done all this hybrid stuff, like. Formula E cars are a bit similar, like. I'd say a Formula E car is still not as good as this. Partly because they have this, like, just big Dorito shape. It's not kind of sculpted. But if Formula E went to a shape like this, because they have smaller cars, they've just got to have the batteries in there because they got no engine, just motors. Quite cool. Max first, Lando second, Oscar third, but keep the championship interesting. I mean, I think the championship is just done. Championship is done. Piastri's got this, surely. Who won an F3? Ramos. Surely you could slap so many more sponsor logos on that. Like, this guy's won F3. No? Or they airbrush them out? Why am I getting this advert? Why am I getting this advert? What's going on with this dude? Well, not very discreet now. Maybe Google knows something about me that I don't, frankly. Fernando Alonso won the 2005 Imola GP before Ollie Behrman and Kim Tandy were even born. I don't think we'll have another like Alonso for a long time. Like, I think we should also appreciate his... Oh, come on, Sky, just tell me what the pit loss actually is. Maybe they know that I stream. I sit in this seat for like 4 hours, 5 hours. And maybe they're like, actually, have you thought about this? Maybe that's what they know. The ultimate streamer strat. Reusable. Hang on, I have a lot of questions here actually. Reusable. Try risk free. Do you have to so you return it? I have significant questions. I do want to build a wind tunnel, that'd be cool. In fact, having a wind tunnel here, that'd be awesome. The surgeon who uses F1 pit stop techniques to save lives of babies. What a headline. That's such an iconic selection of sponsors there. Marlboro, Goodyear, Shell, and then Ferrari logo. Whereas this one's a bit of a mess. What was that Barrichello? Was Barrichello driving the Stewart then? Is that in the Stewart? Who thinks Max and Piastri will collide in first corner and take each other out? I mean, it's happened before, Tom. It is a real funnel. I think we will see gravel being thrown up, 100%. I think we will see that. Yuki Sushi Masterclass, no doubt in partnership with Hard Rock. Why does Ferrari consider Monza as a home race at Imola, which is named after Enzo? Don't know. Look at look at all these media like you have to do, like all these people like sticking a microphone in your face. If Max Verstappen wins the championship this year, he'll be the first F1 driver in 50 years to become a father and world champion. There's really not many fathers in Formula 1. I think there's Hulkenberg, and Verstappen, and I think that's it. Like, I find that pretty astonishing, given that you have a load of drivers in like their 20s to like early / maybe mid 30s. I find it really interesting that there's basically no fathers. Like, I think it might just be genuinely incompatible with racing, like Alonso said about Schumacher at 130R. Welcome, Spaceman. Who won the sprint yesterday? Jack Crawford. He was at Monaco, and I was looking at him. And I was like, I know who you are, but I don't. We've never spoken. He's very distinctive looking. I thought he might be a Fittipaldi, but he's not. Lost a few dads, but is that also indicative? Like, when you look at Oliver Rowland in Formula E, he brought his daughter to Tokyo. By the way, Oliver Rowland is on 160 points in Formula E. In P2 is channel favourite Pascal Wehrlein on 80 something points. Like, Oliver Rowland is, I can't explain how much he's dominating Formula E. And in my opinion, he would have won last year as well if either his Nissan hadn't run out of battery in the last lap at Misano, he hadn't got ill and missed Portland, and something else happened. But like, Oliver Rowland is, and I spoke to David Coulthard. I said, who do you back? He's like, yeah, Oliver Rowland. I spoke to Emerson Fittipaldi in Brazil and Monaco, and both times he was telling me, like, Oliver Rowland, you got to watch out for Oliver Rowland. Like, I wonder, apparently he's going to sign a massive contract with Nissan, but it's Formula E. I wonder if you're Cadillac. Thing is, I don't think he brings much sponsorship. He's from Barnsley. Maybe they want someone from the US a bit more marketable. Yeah, 22 minutes to go till lights out. Anyway, Jack Crawford winning in F2. He's part of the Andretti house. So I wonder if he'll also be involved with Cadillac, maybe. Norris off social media. That's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing for any F1 driver. Just gonna see annoying shorts made by me. Imola GP FP3 telemetry recap. Yeah, I'm not sure that makes much difference anymore. No Martin Brundle grid walk. By the way, my grid walk coming from Monaco. We do have a premiere after this live stream with Dan Ticktum. So that is coming. So interview with Dan Ticktum, who was banned from motorsport for 2 years and was a Williams F1 test driver. And he just won in Japan this morning, actually. No, he didn't win, sorry. He came P2 or P3. He got his podium in Japan this morning, so great timing. We've got an interview with him coming up, so I really hope you enjoy it. We premiered into a Zane Maloney interview a couple of races ago, and it just really hasn't done well. And I was chatting with Zane, and it was a bit sad that it hadn't done well, so I really hope you enjoy this interview. That's gone out. It's been all edited and everything, so hopefully you're going to enjoy speaking with someone who was arguably the highest rated British driver and has had a fall from grace, and now he's trying to get back up, and is definitely someone who could potentially be in Formula 1 in the future. I look really washed out, it's probably the thing. Last season I paid 30 years a month to watch F1, it was not worth. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, Formula 1 was free to watch, which was awesome. You're not telling me it's better now because Sky had a load of value when we know that they don't really. So. Okay, 19 minutes to go. The cars are on the grids. Well, Tsunoda's won't be on the grid. Tsunoda will be starting from the pit lane, right? I imagine. How long until Formula 1 is electric? Formula 1 can't go electric because Formula E has an exclusive license for like 20 years. An exclusive license for like 20 years, actually. on all electric. So I find it really interesting that Formula 1 is going down the hybrid route and not just doing like screw hybrid or do sustainable fuels. But the thing is, I'm not sure how sustainable... I mean, this is a bigger question, but yes, you can make fuel sustainably, but surely they're still going to leave a lot of emissions. No, Formula 1 is not allowed to be above a certain level of electric in terms of the powertrain, because Formula E is exclusive for that. Although some people say that Formula 1 would just make a significant payment to Formula E to allow them to do that. Is that Valentino Rossi? WEC driver now for WRT. That's another interview we have on the channel. Interview with WRT founder Vincent Voss. Bring back the V20s, yeah. I want a V13, please. What does a hybrid route look like? The hybrid route in Formula 1 is that you have a very efficient engine with a small capacity, and then you have a hybrid element. Ronaldo's in town. OG Ronaldo. OG Ronaldo. The real Ronaldo. Ronaldo on the grid, everyone. El Fenomeno. Streets will never forget. Pretty cool to see. I don't understand at Imola. There's like a massive runoff on the left-hand side. Like there's a strip of grass on the home straight, and then there's massive runoff. Like, is that a different layout or something? Aston Martin are standing behind the rear wing of one of their cars, Fernando Alonso. They don't want anyone to see what's going on with the rear wing. But I don't understand it, because if you're a photographer, you just put the camera between their legs. But they're trying to hide something they're doing with the rear diffuser. Something unusual. We're getting closer. Over 15 minutes to go. Let's do a nations check. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from in the world. Let's do that as we get super close. I think we'll get onto the main thing. Croatia, Netherlands coming in. Eagle Scott from Sweden, Melissa, Romania, Netherlands, South Africa. Hang on, this could be a big one for South Africa. Let's see. Australia. Dexterity, Kansas. Welcome Eagle Cotton Dexterity as members as well. Carla Luxembourg, Michael, Melbourne, Rodney, Australia, Warsaw, Poland. Who's winning right now? Australia? No, Netherlands winning? Is it a tie between... No, Netherlands winning at the moment. All about the Netherlands. Semler Sweden just here for the nations. Just heard the nations check. Is that when the notification goes out? Indianapolis, Canada, Australia, London. Scuderia Ferrari, England. Anyone at the track this time? We had some people at the track yesterday. It's just not acceptable for Ferrari to be... I mean, are Ferrari going to even finish in the points here? Yes, I'm streaming from London. What if Ferrari don't even get on the in the points? Could that happen? Sonoda starting from 5th, Colapinto 16th. I think it's insane that Colapinto starts on 16th, but fair enough. Fair play. We usually have a lot of people from... Yeah, where's all the Philippines crew? Yeah, Anthem is certified banger. We don't need to question it here. Sometimes we go to countries where we just don't know. But here it's pretty clear. New Orleans. Okay, we are getting close to the race. I just don't know whether Piastri is just going to absolutely dominate this. We will see. It would be pretty late in the Philippines. Okay, maybe that's why. 13 minutes to go. Yeah, they'll have fixed Yuki's car. They'll just rebuild a new one. They won't have had any sleep or much sleep, maybe. George predicting a turn 1 instant with Norris. Carlos and Johnny 2 hours away from the Nürburgring. Very nice. I'd like to say I'd be over there a lot if I lived 2 hours away, but maybe I wouldn't. It'd be a nice idea that I'd be like, oh, I would always be over. Christian Horner embroiled in this legal case. Still here, though. Red Bull team principal and CEO. I wonder if Imola is the only anti-clockwise track on the calendar. Abu Dhabi anti-clockwise, even though the pit lane's on the right. Yeah, it's on the right. Abu Dhabi's also anti-clockwise. What else is anti-clockwise? Any other anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar? I drive a Peugeot sports car, French high-performance sports car.
Full concentration, anything can happen still.
Right, 11 minutes to go. Fingers crossed. Come on, surely we're gonna have a good race. Surely. Come on, Formula 1. Nevan drives a Mazda. Very nice. My prediction is I can't not predict Piastri to win this. I just think Piastri is going to win this. And then maybe risk of in 20%. Carlo Elise 160 first. Is that a Lotus? Dexterity, let's get a like spike. Yeah, let's do a like spike indeed. Come on, we got it. I just feel like we get battered by other watchalongs on the like front. Like, maybe it's because I don't do any botting. I just hit the live button and go live, but I feel like we can do better on live front. It's free to hit the like button. If you're enjoying it, just hit the like button. 10 minutes to go. Try no car here, bike and foot. Old school. Traditional. Behrman starts 19th. I think Haas will feel very aggrieved about that. Wasn't the first Tesla basically an Elise? You mean the Tesla Roadster? Possibly. Now Lotuses are all electric. Why is Franco 16th instead of 15th? Because he binned it? I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe that is why. If Piastri wins this, I don't know what it does to the championship standings, but very hard to look past him for the World Championship. Nina Husky listening again on the beach from Mallorca. One earbud in. Absolutely loving it. Rate it. God, that is just like... Whew, that's a life. That is the life. To be fair, I could probably do this a little bit from a beach, just with the phone up. Oh, is that one place grid penalty from the pit thing? Well remembered. Well remembered. Have I seen the MG sports car? Yeah, the one that looks like a BMW Z4. I have seen a few Z4s recently and I've been like, You know what? I wouldn't mind. No, I could see myself in the BMW Z4. Right, let me just try and go live on the tick as well. Go live. Almost called it qualifying. Bear with me. The drivers are getting in the cars basically. The drivers are getting in the cars. Okie dokie. With me. Yeah, is that the MG sports car you're envisaging? Let me know. What's Messi doing at a pub? Walkers. Messi's in the pub. That's mad. Messi and Suarez. How did Walkers get Messi? It's insane. Welcome, V-Nick. Bravado Banshee. Is that the one from GTA? Are you talking about the GTA car? For real? Six minutes to go, everyone. We're getting very close to the start of the GP. Well, I'm just going to tell you honestly how it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to tell you. We're obviously hoping it's going to be a really exciting race. That's what we're hoping. Davina says, good morning, fellow geezers. Good morning to all the geezers. Or good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, it's going to be... Let's run through the grid. So, Tsunoda in last place after the big crash. Interesting to see what can the Red Bull do there. We've seen in races previously, Tsunoda just hasn't been able to progress in the Red Bull. I was thinking, yeah, but Suzuka's not anti-clockwise, though. Suzuka is a clockwise circuit. Circuit the Americas is anti-clockwise. Miami. Oh, Miami is anti-clockwise. Yeah, Abu Dhabi, Imola. But you can't say half a Suzuka. You mean like after the figure of 8 or something? Suzuka has a section that is anti-clockwise. Okay, so when you go under the... I'm trying to... Yeah, okay, I know what you mean. So when you go under the bridge, and then the hairpin, and then
Focus on the right head.
spoon. But I think it's still a clockwise circuit, surely. Am I streaming live? Charlotte says yes. Yes, we are. We are streaming live. So, welcome Size X. Hello F1 fans. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Tsunoda in last place. Behrman in 19th. I think it's been done really harsh by. But ultimately, only one place behind Ocon anyway. Hulkenberg in 17th. Colin Pinto in 16th. 15th Lawson. Pretty terrible. Big shout out to Bortoletto, the rookie in 14th. Then 13th, 12th, 11th. Antonelli, Hamilton, Leclerc. That is not good. That is really not good. Pierre Gasly in P10. Hadjar P9. Massive shout out to Hadjar. Lance Stroll P8. Then we have the Williams. It's going to be really interesting to see the battle between the Williams and the Aston Martins. For me, this is the most interesting thing of this race. Like, no joke. Is what happens with the Aston Martins, the Williams, and then Hadjar and Gasly in that pack versus Leclerc, Hamilton, Antonelli. Because if that pack have good pace, the Ferraris aren't going to finish in the points. And what if Antonelli's all over them? Aston Martin on fire. Welcome, Paul. By the way, at this moment, if you are really want to support the channel, please do hit the share button right now. I know Vlatka shared it earlier, I saw. So share the stream, hit the share button, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, Facebook, share it on YouTube as a post. Share the stream, and let's try and have a, you know, in case it is a really exciting race here for Imola. It could be the last Imola GP ever, which is terrible. That should not be a phrase, but unfortunately it is. Yeah, Aston Martin. Am I going to do best setting for GTDD Pro? Yeah, in fact, it's being edited today. If you want to know, Kokori, my settings were 10 on torque and 1 on sensitivity. I preferred that. Let me know what you think about that. And everything else running 100. I did make a mistake though where I had my wheel rotation at 540. I don't think it made a difference. The one time I script qualify, the one time it goes crazy. I mean, it was crazy, but it wasn't an all-time qualifying session. Baku anti-clockwise, yeah. So we are just 2 minutes away now from the start. 2 minutes away from the start of the GP. And yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting actually to see if the Ferraris are... Because if the Ferraris don't improve here, it might be that Williams and Aston have clearly done something on the back of the car with like the rear diffuser. They were hiding it so much. They want to just slow down the progress at which other teams can see that and work on it. But Fernando Alfonso in P5. Thomas says the person above me is cute. There we go. And is Piastri... Oh, thanks for becoming a number 2 fan, Kokori. Can't wait for the upload. Yeah, lots of stuff coming, including actually the SimNet pedals on Fanatec as well, which are unofficial pedals you can use on PlayStation. It's quite interesting. Here we go. And by the way, get us to 100 likes, and then I'm going to bring out the Mercedes F1 wheel here, which is quite cool. We should plug this in, actually. Oh, that'd be sick. We should plug it in and have the same telemetry for Mercedes on this wheel. How cool would that be? Michael thinks Aston Martin got lucky running mediums. Well, it could be the case that they've burnt their mediums, basically. And they should not have done that. That might prove to be a bad move. Hamilton first one, not starting on medium, so again they're experimenting with Hamilton. I wonder how much Hamilton demands that behind the scenes. Because I bet you on the radio, how much do you want to bet that Hamilton's going to be on the radio saying, why did you put me on these tyres? And I find it interesting. I find it interesting. Yeah. Very close now to the start. So I'd save that as a little thumbnail. Potential. Mechanics have left the grid, by the way, and yeah, as you can see, the cars are already starting the formation lap. We're super close now. Let's do another quick nations check just before we start. Philippines is coming in. Let us know again where you're watching from in the world. Put it in before the formation lap ends. Oh, welcome Kokori as well for the gifter. Oh, welcome, thank you for the gift. Dexterity USA, Vlaka, Croatia, China, Netherlands, Martin, Netherlands, Jump, Australia, Susie, UK, Michael, Australia, Nevin, London, King, Australia. Looks like people are going to be supporting a Piastri victory here. Paul, Quebec, Raj says there will be a crash. It could be. Jaron, Yorkshire, Duncan, USA. Wow, Bortoletto is just... That's way too much feedback, bro. Jonathan Parsons. Thank you so much for being a member. Indianapolis. Welshie, Wales. Chipesky, Philippines. George, Vienna. Tenzig, welcome Tenzig. Another member. Shout out to the Deadpool community. Yes. Apologies, I hadn't shouted them out yet on the stream. But... Yep, Deadpool community, let's go. Red Squirrel, Isle of Wight. CB Bournemouth, Delta UK, Clickrock Netherlands, Robert Georgia. Scientific Not Korea. Okay, formation lap is concluding. I will be a little bit later giving you the lights as I see it. But the interesting thing is going to be, can Verstappen, who's technically on the outside, I believe, for turn 1, can he actually hang it and be on the inside for turn 2? Let's see. I mean, incredible scenes if Piastri and Verstappen do take each other out. It could happen. It could happen. Stranger things have happened. Kokori from Singapore. But Teiko Makari from South Africa as well. The flares are off in the grandstands. Red flares, the Tifosi link, everyone will know. Huge general admission there. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it here at Imola. There should be more circuits that are in kind of valleys. Then they do like a Lake District Grand Prix and then everyone can just sit in the valley. Right? Ronaldo is in the Ferrari garage. They're not messing around. They brought the big dog. Welcome Snowline. Speaking of the big cat. Guernsey. Eben, San Diego, California. Yeah, Tifosi everywhere. Right, so I'm just watching Sonoda kind of line up the grid. So I'll be a little bit delayed at the beginning in telling you what's happening because I want to kind of tell my own eyes. But the standings will go. Cambodia in the house as well. So I'm just going to call it as I see it. It's just, you have to bear with me. Looks like Lando is in his grid slot as the last cars have lined up and the marshal with the green flag goes behind, waves the green flag, so the light should be turning on. Bit of a delay here on the lights. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Lights go out. Is it a good start from Piastri? Yes, it is. It's not a great start from Verstappen. In fact, George Russell is going to try and get up the inside of Max Verstappen for turn 2. So Verstappen's had a terrible start here. Oh my God! How has he done that? How has Verstappen done that? How on earth has he done that? That is literally insane. That is literally GOAT level behaviour. From a terrible start, he looked like he was going to get overtaken by Lando on one side and George Russell on the other side. Somehow he overtakes Piastri in the first chicane. That is absolutely insane. That is on par with George Russell last year at Barcelona. I'd say that's even better. What Verstappen's done there is just legendary behaviour. I've no idea how he's done that. I've no idea how that. I mean, I've done a lot of sim racing and karting and whatnot. I've never ever. I mean, I could do that move if I was racing against AI that's on like level 1. That is absolutely insane behaviour from Max Verstappen. That is, if he had the fastest car, we'd be looking at a 5-time world champion. Well, okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's 100 likes. Well, as promised, chat, I do have with me, look at this. An actual, doesn't want to focus, an actual Formula 1 steering wheel. So if we ever need to do any stuff, look, it's even got the Hamilton clutch. Carbon fibre bar shifter. But anyway, more on that later on. That's pretty cool. That is a working... That works on the sim. I took that to Monaco. So how Verstappen did this, like, around the outside... Fair play to Piastri for giving him the space, but that is one of the greatest overtakes of all time. That's not an exaggeration. It's one of the best overtakes of all time at Imola. And if this is the last Imola GP, it will be remembered always for that overtake, no matter what happens now. But speaking of what's happening, Verstappen has got a 1.4 second grip. Lead, sorry. How do I acquire this wheel? SimLab gave this wheel to me for a review, and I haven't reviewed it yet. but I've taken it to Monaco. I've given it to racing drivers, and we put it here on stream, and the review will come at some point. But this is a SimLab Mercedes AMG steering wheel. Yeah, so Verstappen did, but not in the... He did overtake, but not in the way I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that at all. What's happened to Ocon? Well, it looks like, dare I say, Ocon has boxed onto the hard tyre early, and he's going to try and go for this one stop, which is just makes a mockery of Formula 1. If you can box on the first stop, the first lap, and go to the end, then that's just stupid. Like, there needs to be another incentive. Like, I don't even think you should try and make the tyres fall off, whatever. That's a difficult art and dangerous. You should just refueling or mandate a maximum number of laps on a certain tyre. Oh, someone's been pushed on the grass. The gravel. It's Gasly. I think it was Leclerc pushed Gasly onto the gravel at the top of the hill just before Acqua Minerale. So at turn 9, Gasly was completely pushed into the gravel there. They'll give Max a penalty for that. The thing is there, no one could drive off the circuit because there's just gravel either side, which is great. I really hope they're all in the cooldown room because I want to see the replay and see what Piastri has to say about that. But Piastri will no doubt play the long game here. Tsunoda joined the formation lap and then went into the pit lane. Mess that up? Is that how it normally works? Is that how it normally works? Gasly's had that lap time deleted. I'm not sure he'll be too bothered about that because he was forced into the gravel. I wonder if that's going to be a penalty for Charles Leclerc as well. Gnarly's shot Yuki's even in the race. Yeah, I mean, all credit to the mechanics who have fixed that, to be honest. Rebuilt that car. Not even rebuilt it, built a new car. But I think that was Leclerc on Gasly. And I'm sure Gasly will be absolutely furious about that. Might have some gravel in the cockpit. Yeah, claps for the crew. Yes, indeed. Okay, so Verstappen is maintaining the same kind of gap, 1.4 seconds, to Piastri. Then it's George Russell, then Lando Norris, then Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Albon, Stroll, Leclerc. Leclerc has got past Hadjar and Antonelli and Gasly. But that's dealt with Gasly. That's been great for Ferrari, the Gasly situation. Keep an eye on Esteban Ocon lap times as well. So Esteban Ocon is lapping a second a lap quicker than Tsunoda, Behrman, Colapinto, Hulkenberg, who are all in traffic. So it could be an inspired move by Esteban Ocon if he can take those tyres to the end of the GP. That's how it might work for him. It was such a bad start for Verstappen. It's such an unusual start as well because they turned straight away off the grid. And yeah, Verstappen was behind George Russell, but then absolutely slung it around the outside of Piastri. He just judged it to perfection. We are looking at the world's best racing driver, no doubt. Unbelievable from Verstappen there.
Okay, crack on.
Slightly helped by the fact that Russell wasn't making a move on... And Russell not happy about Piastri. What's Piastri doing? I think he's just unhappy that Piastri didn't really defend against Verstappen or something. Don't know what Colapinto's been up to. Colapinto, what are you doing, bro? Squeezing a Haas. Oh, just losing a load of positions. Colapinto just evaporated at the start there. And now we can see Verstappen and Piastri starting to stretch things out. Oh, Gasly. I was looking at the squeezing out again. Maybe that was more on Gasly, to be honest. That was good for Hamilton as well. Hamilton was able to rejoin. Captain Howdy, what a start from Max. Yes, indeed. Big Franz Hermann. That was a characteristic Franz Hermann move, let's be honest. one of the all-time overtakes. Like, just unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. In the same way that when I was explaining Tsunoda's crash yesterday, it was like more dramatic than I could explain. That is a better move than I can explain, really. Keep an eye on the Ocon pace still, because Ocon 121.6, as the Tsunoda crew now are in like low 22s. So let's see, Ocon is lapping the same as Bortoleto, whereas I think on that strat to work, he really wants to be in clear air, albeit Bortoleto is in clear air, because he was also able to get past Gasly. So it's great stuff from Bortoleto. And Esteban Ocon does a 121.6, so it looks like he's started to fall back into that kind of pace. Yeah, it's incredible for Tsunoda. Also shows how dangerous Formula 1 is. Leclerc saying tyres are better than expected. And where is Fernando Alonso? Surely there's going to be a massive Fernando Alonso train here. A circuit where people say it is difficult to overtake. Yeah, but I think the Williams just have good pace. So it's actually more of a George Russell train right now. And I wonder if Bortoleto and Gasly will catch back up with Hamilton. You'd imagine that Gasly will be able to get past Bortoleto. See what lap times they're doing in the train. I think 122 deads for a lot of them. Or okay, creeping up now. No one else has gone on the Ocon strat. Gone that early. I mean, surely Ocon isn't doing a 2-stop. Yeah, I mean the G-force I'm not sure so much, because there was the way he barrel rolled and rolled up and everything that kind of dissipates it on the tyre barrier. But the point is like from the if with these cars, if you upset the aero, because they corner so quick, if you have an incident like that at an apex, you know, you're going to shoot into the barrier. Like, that could happen at a street circuit into a hard barrier and be very, very, very significant on the G-force. Because these curbs, you know, they race WEC here, they race GTs here. These curbs aren't special curbs for Formula 1 cars, but Formula 1 are just so aero-dependent. I'd be really interested to see a very detailed breakdown of how that crash happened in terms of the aero. Might even try and make one myself if I can understand it properly. Lando needs to clear Russell now. Yeah, Lando in DRS. Might even think about it into turn 1 here. Might even think about it. No, not quite. Meanwhile, Piastri is hanging on the back of Verstappen. Oh, Colapinto with another mistake. Running wide on the exit of 17 in the gravel. Just slowing him down a little bit. He's back on his way. Remember, we do have the hard tyre runners and the medium tyre runners. And because the mediums are, you know, essentially kind of soft tyres at other races, the way Pirelli have done the compounds here, I do wonder whether they'll have to box quite early. 20 years ago, that crash with the fatality. Yeah, well, we've unfortunately seen fatalities at Imola. With what happens if you just go into the barrier at speed. Oh, Lando trying to go around the outside of George Russell at 6. Turn 5 and turn 6 didn't quite happen. Even the Dutch live blog mentions the Alonso train. Yeah, the thing is, GT cars can just eat curbs. So, you know, they want to have these curbs here. Otherwise, GT cars would just cut all the corners. So maybe that is an argument that Imola needs to decide: are you a Formula 1 circuit for one race a year, or do you want to do a lot of GT racing? Do you want to do the WEC round they have now? Yeah, there's a rabbit. Unfortunately, Pierre Gasly ate it. I'm not sure it's an Alonso train as much as a George Russell train. I'm not sure I'm going to make the target pushing like this, George Russell says. So George Russell is trying to keep ahead of Lando, but I think effectively Mercedes are going to say, this is not our fight. Don't fight this. Instead, consolidate, run your let's keep a P4. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lando gets past George Russell and it's not too much of a difficult battle. Because George Russell can't defend like this for the whole GP as he puts Lando Norris on the grass. So currently George Russell is defending hard, but I just think that instruction will change from Mercedes because it's allowing Fernando Alonso to be right on the back of Lando Norris. Which is pretty crazy considering how bad that Aston Martin has been this season. Gasly lap time deleted again. Williams being impressive. Yeah, right, here we go. Pit stops now. Charles Leclerc pits. Liam Lawson pits. So Charles Leclerc pitting early to go from the mediums on the hard, and we'll try and go to the end of the hard. This might cause a flurry of pit stops, I imagine. There might be a flurry of pit stops here, as people don't want to get undercut by, well, Liam Lawson and Charles Leclerc, two different ends of the midfield, but same strategy. You can see Ocon is past Lawson. And Gasly, even with that spin, surely he's going to get past Lawson as well. Yes, but it looked like it was pretty close. Lando's really struggling, or was struggling, in the dirty hair behind George Russell, but surely will get the move done at turn 5 and 6. Yes, he does, around the outside. So George Russell made him work for it, but it was just delaying the inevitable, really. Which is that McLaren has much more pace than the Mercedes, particularly around the corners, it seems. Through goes Lando, yeah. Yeah, and by the way, Verstappen, 2.5 seconds. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy, I would say. Could we see another Suzuka-esque run here from Verstappen? Do we actually need to start reconsidering whether this championship is done and dusted? Maybe it's not done and dusted. Welcome, Octav. Yeah, welcome everyone if you're new. Let us know in the chats if you're new to the stream. Let us know if you're new to F1. Very welcome. George Russell boxing as well. So Russell comes out. Science out. Wow! Charles Leclerc undercuts George Russell. Hello? What the hell? Charles Leclerc undercuts George Russell. That is insane. And it was a quick stop for Russell. Russell lost so much time. That is a madness. That is genuine, insane strat from Ferrari. Genuinely new strat from Ferrari there. Is anyone else seeing that? I'm absolutely gobsmacked that Ferrari have pulled some mad strat out of the bag. Charles Leclerc has got ahead of George Russell. That's George Russell who started P3, and Leclerc started like 11th. And now Leclerc is ahead of Russell. That is mad. Nice. Piastri saying, I think plan A is very ambitious at the moment. What do you do for your Lando now? Do they have to box Lando? Maybe the hard tyre is just a better tyre than the mediums. Who's gone on to hards? Ocon was on hards, 220.6. Hard to say. Fernando Alonso has also been undercut by Charles Leclerc. So it seems like boxing early here is the move. Boxing early here at this stage of the GP has got you a nice undercut. I think Charles Leclerc is P3 right now. Either P3 or P4. It'll be very interesting to see when Lando comes in. What's Lando doing? 22 dead. Oh my god. Charles Leclerc is 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds quicker than Lando Norris. The undercut is very much real. Chat, are we seeing this? The undercut here is insane. Yeah, Piastri boxes. Are they going to double stack? Are McLaren going to double stack here? Because if not, they're going to compromise Norris. Norris does a 121.2. Norris is getting undercut here by Charles Leclerc. By the fact they've left Lando out, he's losing positions. He's going to lose again to George Russell, probably. And Piastri is going to come out ahead of Charles Leclerc. Now, interesting, what does Verstappen do? Verstappen 21.4. That's a second a lap slower than Leclerc. So does Verstappen box as well? Or this is a really interesting race from a strategy perspective. 87 people watching on TikTok. Welcome on board. Smash that like button, everyone.
Keep your head down.
And 850 on YouTube. This is awesome. This is a very interesting race from a strategy perspective because Pirelli bought these super soft tyres. So the medium is actually basically a soft tyre. And surely Verstappen needs to box now. Well, Charles Leclerc last lap was a 21.1, so only 0.3 quicker than Verstappen. Verstappen can call people's bluff here and go really long and actually have it pay back later at the end of the GP. Does Verstappen box or keep going? Verstappen keeps going. What does he do? A mid-21 again? A 21.4 again for Verstappen. What about Lando? Lando keeps going. Lando does a 21.3, slightly quicker than Verstappen. Anyone else going to box in the midfield? Yes, Lance Stroll boxes. Remember, Hamilton's on that hard tyre. So Hamilton's on the hard. Oh, it's a slightly slow stop from Piastri on the front right. Ever so slightly. Not a massively slow stop. So Lance Stroll boxes. Have a look here between the gap between Charles Leclerc and Piastri is not that big. It's not that big. It's 4.5 seconds. Even though Piastri started on pole and Leclerc started P11. Ferrari have just done an absolute blinder there. Maybe the medium tyres are working really well for Ferrari. We could see Ferrari incredible strat. It could finally happen. This could finally be the time. Keep an eye on the lap times as well with Verstappen and Lando. Alex Albon also going along. And then you've got Antonelli and Hamilton. So Antonelli has overtaken Lewis Hamilton. But these lads are on the hard tyres. They're doing mid-22s. So Verstappen goes over the line. It's a 21.2. It's slightly faster. So Verstappen might have a delta of pace where he's trying to go from the low 21s. Obviously, we'll get slightly faster as the car gets lighter. And Lando does his fastest lap of 21 dead. Lando does the exact same time as Charles Leclerc did on the hard tyre. So, hang on. Maybe people have boxed too early to get temporary track position. But maybe Verstappen is just going to play this one cool and go long. Maybe Piastri's been compromised here. What's Piastri done? 20.9. Okay, 0.3 quicker than Verstappen. But is he going to pay for that at the end of the race? What's the fall-off going to be with the hard tyre at the end of the race? By the way, welcome to all the new subscribers and followers. If you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, do hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. It's completely free. Piastri had a slow stop. Thanks, PL. Piastri had a slow stop there. 3.9 seconds. It looked like it would be quicker than that, but there was a slightly sticky front right. So that's, I mean, oh. Where's Lando to Piastri? What's the gap between Lando and Piastri there? 20 seconds, but I think the pit loss here is a bit longer, to be honest. I think the pit loss is a bit longer. You don't cut out any corners here. Never, I'm saying Max will box now, but no. Octav, if you did not subscribe so far, you still have the chance to fix this big error. Yes, indeed. And I want to show you, everyone. Look at this. Oh, it's focusing now. That is the actual steering wheel that George Russell and Kimi Antonelli are using, essentially. This is a sim racing variant. With the clutch. Have you seen where Hamilton goes off the line? And he goes like that. And he goes like that, doesn't he? Or something? Anyway, you let me know in the chat how that works. Super excited to have more. Look, we're adding to the streams here. Very cool. Super cool. Anyone boxing now? No. Remember, Ocon did this mad strat where he boxed on lap 1, which just seems stupid now. And Bortoletto's gone all the way down to 19th. I don't know if that's an issue for Bortoletto. So the top 4 drivers have gone long on the medium tyre. Verstappen again doing a 21.2. Norris again doing a 20.8. Might indicate that the McLaren is about half a second quicker than the Red Bull, which is an age. But there goes Verstappen, 21 dead this time. 21 dead for Verstappen. Meanwhile, Tsunoda is doing a 22.7. That's an age, that is. That is a massive difference between Verstappen and Tsunoda, albeit Tsunoda. Oh, Tsunoda's ahead of Piastri here. Well, finally, we have some Red Bull team play. Because Tsunoda should definitely try and hold up Oscar Piastri here. Finally, Max Verstappen has a teammate that can do some fun and games. So, how much can Tsunoda hold off Piastri? Oh, he can't. Piastri's passed into turn 1. Tsunoda had all the defense of a chocolate teapot there. Not very useful. Chaya says, well done, Tsunoda, but it was short-lived. Better than Perez, though, I think. Better than Perez. It's about a 25-second pit loss. Okay. Octave saying, how did McLaren lose this race already? It's not lost already, mate. There's still a long way to go. This is a more exciting race than I was predicting. Yesterday, I was like, I don't see this being an exciting race. Even this morning, even at the beginning of the stream. But now, with the strategy, this is quite interesting because we obviously have a very different strategy between what Max Verstappen's doing and what Piastri's doing. And Piastri panicked, I think, and they've put him in all this traffic. He's behind Behrman now. He's had to get past Tsunoda, and he's lapping a second a lap slower than Verstappen, even on newer tyres, because he's in the traffic. This could be a disaster for Oscar Piastri. Maybe McLaren have hired all the Ferrari strategists or something. And look at the... is Hadjar also... what? No, Hadjar needs to box as well. But Antonelli and Hamilton on the hard tyre is quite interesting. So can Piastri get past Behrman into turn 1 here? Surely that's going to be easy for the McLaren unless Behrman does some mad defence. No. So it seems like every lap Piastri is trying to overtake someone into turn 1. But he's still lapping a second slower, more than a second slower than Verstappen and Norris. And that time around, Max Verstappen was faster than Lando Norris. Faster than Lando Norris, everyone. So Verstappen is on the move. 1,000 people watching now on YouTube. 157 on TikTok. It's awesome. He wasn't the only one that boxed. I mean, George Russell boxed. Charles Leclerc boxed early. When Charles Leclerc boxed and did a big undercut on George Russell, I was like, oh, hang on. The undercut's super powerful, then basically meaning the new tyre is very good in these conditions. But what's Leclerc doing now? Well, now Leclerc is slower than Verstappen, as you might expect in the Ferrari. But it looks like maybe just the first lap or two was really, really good on those tyres. Or maybe just the conditions came together. Or maybe Charles Leclerc drove some really good laps. But basically, Verstappen didn't blink. And even though I thought they'd sacrifice Norris, because they didn't box him, actually, it's looking pretty good for Lando as well. I mean, has anyone worked out where Lando is compared to Piastri? Is Lando actually going to overtake Piastri here? In which case, will you have all the accusations of Lando being the #1 driver at McLaren and they're favouring him over Oscar Piastri? Could be very exciting. Surely not. But it could be the case also. Hamilton just chilling behind Kimi Antonelli. 121.2 for Verstappen, 120.9 for Lando Norris. Piastri approaching Crasher Pinto. He's got past Crasher Pinto. Gave him a very wide berth into 2-1. You'd panic going into turn 1 just having overtaken Colapinto. So please don't crash into me. Please, for the love of racing, don't destroy me, Colapinto. And Tsunoda and Leclerc having a battle there on very different tyres. Tsunoda on the old hard tyres and Leclerc on the mediums. Leclerc still has the fastest lap of the race, and I think that's what probably spooked a lot of people. It spooked me, certainly. I was like, hang on. Hang on, maybe this hard tyre is actually the tyre to be on, but it didn't work out for Ocon. You know, but that's the Haas. But Norris, some feedback on the hard tyre. It's similar to the medium, but you need free air to manage the temperature. Overtaking is as we expected. Oscar did 1 per lap. Exactly as I was saying. So Oscar was able to do 1 per lap. But you can't kind of follow like Lando was doing on the mediums to George Russell, which I think is what they're telling him, basically. 23.6 second gap between Norris and Piastri. Okay, so it's getting close. Dutch live blog mentions the advantage Piastri becoming less and less needs to overtake. Yeah, I mean, they've just put him into a load of traffic. The irony is, if they just kept him out a little bit longer, he would have been gaining on this traffic and he wouldn't have had to do so much lap on lap. Charles Leclerc, meanwhile, overtakes Yuki Tsunoda into turn 1 at Imola. Awesome stuff, but that is on the new tyres. Gmail says, the Nintendo cheat codes that McLaren have unstoppable. Science saying it's clear it's a one-stop if Alex is doing certain lap times. So, I'm interested here because they've boxed Science really early, haven't they? They've boxed Science super early. I wonder if Science is on a two-stop then. We could have a big strategy difference in this race. We could have I wonder if people are doing two stops as Piastri is going to get past Hülkenberg into turn 1. So Piastri is doing everything that's asked of him. But I just wonder, is Piastri actually on a two-stop? And is Verstappen trying to string this out to a one-stop? There's still 42 laps left. Hamilton saying we definitely want to undercut these guys. But being told by Ferrari there's no gap right now. So Hamilton saying, look, we can undercut Antonelli, but he's being told there's no gap because you're just going to go back into the Russell, Sainz, whatever madness there. I think this really has not worked out for George Russell. I think George Russell is being absolutely battered here. I suspect he's lost out a lot. Pass from the tyre water. It must be the McLaren tyre water. Usually on a one-stop, the pit stops happen around 2025. Chat, I reckon the people that are pitted already, I reckon they're on two stops. So I reckon Piastri is on a two-stop. I reckon Charles Leclerc is on a two-stop. And when you look at the gap between Piastri and Max Verstappen, which is 33 damn seconds, is Oscar Piastri a second a lap quicker than Verstappen? No. He's a couple of tenths quicker, albeit now he's in clean air for the first time. Russell, it's like the rear track rod or something is broken because the rears are moving even on a straight line. So maybe some damage for Russell. Maybe hitting some of these curbs, potentially. Thunder Russell probably can't get the heat out of the tyres. Cola Pinto pits. Oh, Keezer Hudson, thanks so much for the 99p. Thank you so much. Chat, please put your claps in for Keezer Hudson. That's the first super chat ever on a live stream, which is incredible. Thank you so much for donating 99p to the channel. I really appreciate it. I've got some trips coming next week to France. I'm going to see Logitech. I'm going to see SimLab as well. So you make this possible because I've just ordered some new SD cards this morning and stuff like that. And genuinely the 99p goes towards that. I can have a fresh SD card and just shoot more content. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It genuinely goes a long way. This is not some big company. Yeah, Piastri diving up into the Hülkenberg. Jackson, this is Lando's chance in clean air, but he's not making much time on Max. Yeah, Lando is in complete clean air. You are correct. But there was a slow lap for Verstappen that time. I don't know if it was a mistake. Welcome, Simba, as well. Good to see you. And Dexterity. Good to see so many members in the chat. I really appreciate it. I'll be doing some members. I'll try and take you with me to Paris and stuff like that. And I want to kind of revamp the membership to do lots more members-only content. Even if it's a bit rougher. I just want to get it out there and take you with us like when we went to Monaco. Norris has not boxed yet. Yeah, so Piastri, interestingly now, Piastri is going to hit the traffic of Hamilton and Antonelli, who haven't boxed yet, and they're all on hard tyres. They're all on hard tyres, and I just wonder, what has Piastri really gained here? Because Hamilton and Antonelli are on this hard tyre, 22.2. Wow, I mean, look at the lap time for Piastri, though. This is going to be interesting. Is Piastri going to be able to carve through Hamilton, Antonelli, and Hadjar like a hot knife through butter? If he can do this, I feel like he might still be in for the race win. But if he can't do this, this is the moment he needs to shine here. because Piastri needs to go long on this stint. So he needs to get past these people on track. And Hamilton and Antonelli might have no incentive to pit because they're in a different race. They're not racing for the win. They might be racing for... Oh, Hamilton looks like he's clutching on Antonelli there, going into turn 1. Try saying Verstappen cooking the mediums, cooking them nicely. So Verstappen 21.2, Norris 21.2, so not too much difference there. Albon chilling in P3. Will be interesting to see where Albon comes out in the wash here. So Piastri still behind Hamilton, 20.6, so he was a second and a half quicker, but now he's half a second behind Hamilton, and he's going to start cooking those mediums. Oh, big slide from Hamilton behind Antonelli into turn 1. Looks like Hamilton is really struggling on those tyres, actually. So maybe the hard tyres don't have a great life to them. I don't know. Surely not into 17. Surely Piastri will just bide his time and get it done into turn 1. Like spike. Yeah, do hit the likes. Smash the likes on all platforms, please. Hit the like button right now. Now's your opportunity. Just smash it. I'm tapping it right now as well myself. So will Piastri get past Hamilton into turn 1? Let's see. They're not going to pit. Surely it's going to be easy for Piastri. Round the outside, up the inside. Yes, he gets past. And George Russell, meanwhile, was able to get past Yuki Tsunoda into turn 1 as well. What lap are we on? Does it not show you? Does it not show you? We're on lap 26, 63. It's 26 out of 63 at the moment. George Russell lap. Let me try and fix that for you, actually. If you can't see it, that's not great, is it? How have we got a situation where you can't even see what lap it is? That's a madness. Bear with me. Let me know if that's a bit better for you, if you can see the laps there. Just trying to help you out. So that was on TikTok. They couldn't see the lap. They were all there's 100 people just chilling, just vibing, but couldn't see the lap. By the way, it's refreshing to see not constant lap times deleted because we actually have gravel traps. I like that. So now Piastri going to try and get past Hamilton to PR. So Piastri is doing the strat perfectly. Leclerc also will try and get past Nico Hülkenberg here into turn 1. So the DRS and overtake into turn 1 is very powerful. Super powerful. No worries. Welcome, Catty Uji. Hope you're doing well. LVS as well. Rich T. Josh goes slow. Enver Red Bull says they brought major changes to the Red Bull, which is why Max is able to increase the gap. Can Red Bull still win the championship? Can they still do it? I just wonder, like, if Piastri is on a 2-stop, I mean, would you rather be Piastri right now on a 2-stop or Lando on a 1-stop? They're clearly on very different strategies because they both started on the medium tyre. Who would you rather be right now, Lando or Piastri? Basically, Piastri's had to do so much overtaking. Piastri's doing so much overtaking that it's costing him time. I know he's doing it very effectively. He's probably having a great time. It's going to look great for the overtaking stats. Norris totally dawdling. Ought to have not constructors. Yeah, well, not constructors at Red Bull. That ship sailed a few years ago. Matt Ware says, "Come on, McLaren." I tell you what, chat. Put now in the comments, who do you think is going to win this race? Which driver do you think is going to win this race? I'm not even going to comment. I'm really interested to see what you say. At this stage of the GP, which is way more interesting than I thought it would be, who do you think is going to win? Colapinto gets past Ocon. Octav Piastri, Bradley Verstappen, Tom Max, Nevon Max, Chaya Max. If Max wins this, that is Norris boxing. Norris boxing now. So Lando boxes with 35 laps to go. Will the hard tyres do 35 laps? Daniel Kireth in town. I saw him at Monaco. Had a quick chat with him. He was there with Maserati. So Lando boxes. Oh my days. Is he going to come out ahead of Piastri? Is he going to come out ahead of Piastri? That's madness if he does. Oh, no. No, he's going to come out behind all that traffic. Well, why have they done that then? Why have they done that? Why have they boxed Lando to come out behind all that traffic? It's like they did it to punish him or something. That makes no sense to me. Oh, yeah, no, Ocon. Ocon's off. VSC. Ocon's off. Virtual safety car and Lando's just boxed. Will Verstappen box? Will Verstappen box right now? This is the race winning moment. Sponsored by Amazon, Google, Oracle, Pepsi Cola. Moment of the race. Does Verstappen box under VSC? Race winning moment. Yes, he does. Verstappen boxes under VSC. Race is done. Race is done. Race is done here. That is insane. That is insane. Fact, Max Verstappen boxes under VSC. Piastri's had to overtake 1 billion cars. And I think they'll be able to recover that car under VSC. Because Ocon has come to a stop on the left side. And I think they'll just be able to wheel it off. Now, if they do a safety car here, then my brain's just going to explode. But as it stands, this is like a Stoffel Van Dorn yesterday in Formula E with the red flag. Like, that is unbelievable luck for Verstappen and Albon as well. And Hamilton and Antonelli are going to jump on that. And Hadjar. Great news for Hadjar. Leclerc pits for the second time. So Leclerc was on a 2-stop. They're all boxing under VSC. Oh, chat, what do you think about this? Make sure you subscribe right now as well. This is an exciting moment. Who's the winners and losers? Fernando Alfonso doesn't box. Why is he not boxing on the hard tyres? Is he going to try and go to the end? So he's got a bit of cheeky track position. And the big question is, are they going to be able to recover Ocon's car, who's parked on the grass, without a safety car? If you're McLaren right now, you are screaming for a safety car. You're saying, this is so dangerous. It's super dangerous here. Like, you've got to protect the marshals. You have to call a safety car. Safety first. Safety first. If I'm Zach Brown, that's what I'm doing right now. Why is Russell 11th? Just terrible strat. Yeah, this has been been one of the biggest advantages I can remember of a virtual safety car coming out. Thanks, Lisa. Verstappen is 20 seconds ahead. And is just going to go to the end on the hard tyre. He's got a free pit stop. Piastri's done all that work. I mean, does Piastri need to box again as well? If they box Piastri here, Oh my god, no. Oh my god, no, no, no. That's so bad for Oscar Piastri. I feel so bad for him. McLaren have done classic Ferrari strategy here. That's so bad for Oscar Piastri. That's so bad. He's going to be so far behind Lando Norris now, and he's done an extra pit stop. All the Australians in the chat, how do you think about that? I mean, VSC ending. VSC ending. Verstappen is 44 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri. 44 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri. That could not have worked out any worse for Oscar Piastri and any better for Max Verstappen. The virtual safety car Sponsored by Red Bull. Oh my god. And now we're racing again. But this is the thing with Red Bull. I just want to make this point right now. Okay. Now we have people like Flavio Briatore banned for life who are back in Formula 1. Because Red Bull have 2 sister cars, 2 RB cash apps, they could pull that stunt at any time. Do you remember Yuki Tsunoda in the RB in Suzuka going out without the seatbelts on? And then coming back in, like, they could, at any point, they could say to Liam Lawson, Liam, just pull over now, mate. And they could cause that to happen. It's too open for abuse. This race is just absolutely mad. Absolutely insane. Verstappen was sim racing yesterday. Yeah, I know. I should have made that video, to be honest. What happened with Esteban Ocon? Just a engine failure or something? McLaren will still be head in standings. Yeah, but you can't deny that this is a great result for Verstappen. Like, in the Drivers' Championship as well. Yeah, welcome back to Scranton Beats. Continue tradition. Please continue the tradition of hitting the like button. We should be getting to 500 likes. That's our target. So smash, smash, smash. If you're watching, it's free. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, follow, all that stuff. All that good stuff. Because Max Verstappen, I mean, it's been great for Hamilton and Antonelli. It's fantastic for Antonelli if they can go to the end. Actually, maybe Antonelli can't go to the end. They'll have to try to, though. They'll have to try to. But, you know, Verstappen, Norris, Albon. Oh, my days. Hang on. Is Albon on for a podium here? Chat, is Albon on for a podium? So what's the difference between Piastri and Albon? Let's have a look. Piastri hasn't even set a lap yet since he pitted. Like, I feel like I've been talking about this for ages. Formula 1 is just crazy right now. What happened to Carlos Sainz? Bad strat. Bad strat. So Piastri does a 119.9, Albon a 120.3. So at that rate, he will catch because there are 31 laps to go. Exact Brown's way of ensuring Norris stayed in front of Piastri. What's Oliver? Oh, Oliver Behrman's been lapped. So Behrman's just chilling there. That VSC. Norris doesn't have anything to lose. I expect him to go flat out. So Norris, they might use Norris to try and put some pressure on Verstappen. But if you're Verstappen now, I mean, this is what he does. He's a racing driver. As long as he's not going to lose a second a lap. Unless he starts losing a second a lap. The wind direction changes. Coffee drinker Franz Hermann for the win. John says, bro, do you really think F1 would let Red Bull do what you just said? Do you think F1 would let a team principal who literally did that back into Formula 1? Answer me that question, John Nelson. I stand to see a Bonga Oscar 19 laps on the hards. Why is Piastri gone on to such scrub tyres? That must be wrong. That must be wrong because Piastri pitted. There's no way they put him onto that set. Chat, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Like, that has to be wrong. That has to be wrong. That has to be wrong. I'm just going to say that's wrong. Carlos Sainz made a move on Tsunoda. Oh my god, Tsunoda's having a terrible race. Oh, around the outside there was contact between Sainz and Tsunoda. Sainz says, again, this guy touched me like in Bahrain. No touching, Tsunoda. No touching allowed. That could have ended very badly. It was exactly the same place where Tsunoda crashed yesterday. Piastri fast lap should be new tyres, yeah. It must be new hards. John says, so now F1 is rigged? What do you mean now? Yeah, would you go on mediums or hards anyway? Would you go on medium? You probably go hards, wouldn't you? You go hards. Hards to the end. Interestingly, Tsunoda went on mediums. No, sorry. Tsunoda, Hamilton, Anthony had to go on mediums because they were one-stopping off the hard tyre. So they've had to go mediums. So I don't know whether Hamilton and Antonelli are going to get to the end anyway. It's amazing they're still behind Hadjar. Hadjar just got... Hadjar, I mean, because of that VSC, Hadjar should have been on a worse strat because he was on the medium tyre, but actually now he's on a better strat. He's on a better strat. Anyway, Hamilton's going to try and get past Hadjar, but I don't think it's going to work. No worries, John. Welcome to the stream. Ask all... There's no stupid questions in Formula 1. Certainly not. We're all scrabbling around here in the dark anyway. Like Playchip says, is Antonelli struggling with tyres? Could be dirty, yeah. I mean, he's whoa, he's 2.5 seconds off there. Maybe mistake. No further investigation between Snowden and Sainz. I agree with that actually as well. It's interesting, there was no further investigation there, but in Jeddah, with Verstappen and Piastri, there was an investigation and 10-second penalty. I wonder if that 10-second penalty for Verstappen could be material come the end of the season. Because if you remember, when we were doing that watch along, I was pretty sure Verstappen was going to win that race. Clickrock Hamilton cooking. Claudia Espinosa new to F1. Chat, let us know. Let us know if you're new to Formula 1 in the chat, and let us know what your questions are, and we'll all answer them. Thanks T for the gifter badge as well. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hamilton cooking slightly. Hamilton is past Hadjar. Hamilton only 5 seconds off Piastri. This has worked out so badly for Piastri, it's untrue. Where did that Hamilton lap come from? Well, I think his fastest lap was his first lap on the hards, probably. Octave says Hamilton will be on the edge with tyres. Hope he doesn't get DSQ. That's a great point. You make a great point there. Given what happened in China with Charles Leclerc. Ooh, Octave, I tell you what, if you're right at the end, we'll clip that message. Take a screenshot of that message now, and we'll send it to Ferrari. Because given what happened in Shanghai, Ferrari should not get caught out with that again. So take a screenshot of that. What's VRC? VRC is, I think you mean VSC is virtual safety car. It's what they do is, if there's an incident, for safety reasons, they slow all the cars down to a safe speed. So all the cars have to drive really slowly. But you can still enter the pit lane, which is controversial. Because some people say, well, you shouldn't be able to enter the pit lane. Because if you take a pit stop while everyone else is driving slowly, normally you lose a lot of time when you take a pit stop because you're driving slowly, everyone else is driving fast. But when there's a VSC, everyone else is driving slowly, you're driving slowly, you're not actually losing any time really. So that's what Verstappen was able to do. As soon as the virtual safety car came out, he pitted and he made his pit stop and didn't really lose any time. Some people will say that's unfair. Leclerc about to pass Antonelli. Let's see. The Mercedes are really struggling here. Matt, fairly new to F1 last season, was first watch. Chose McLaren. Good choice. It looks like you've chosen the Constructors' Championship. Joe Noob from Australia. AJG, that's not new. My first season last year, saw a few. So I just joined the stream. Can you tell me how Max gained an 8-second gap? It was all under VSC, virtual safety car. Hamilton P5 on the road, awesome. Hamilton saying he had to use a lot of the tyres, but Hamilton looking good for a really good result here for Ferrari, given that I was saying at the beginning of the race, are they even going to be in the points? And Charles Leclerc on that different strategy, I mean, the timing of the VSC rewarded everyone who had gone long. You cursed Ocon when you said he did a mockery. Strat, yeah. But Ocon's basically gifted this victory to Verstappen, and famously they don't get on either, which is quite ironic. But that's what's happened here. Ocon's given this to Verstappen, unless there's a safety car. There's a safety car now, that could change things, but I can't explain how beneficial this has been for Max Verstappen. It's been unbelievably beneficial. It's been great. What creates a VSC? So in this instance, a car had a engine failure or something and parked on the side of the road. Now, because that's quite simple for the mechanics to roll that car off the circuit, they will do that under VSC. But you don't know. This is the thing about Abu Dhabi 2021. The FIA, the race director, whatever, just broke the rules in the interest of racing. So it's never certain. You don't know exactly, but you can put pressure on the FIA. That's why I was saying. McLaren will be screaming, saying this needs to be a full safety car. Because if there's a full safety car, the gaps will close up. But there wasn't a full safety car, so they massively lost out. But I would be, you know, I don't know if we're taken seriously, but I've been the ready to say, this is really dangerous, this is really dangerous, but then, you know, that's a bit... Anyway, it's Formula 1, as someone said, like, they're all cheating anyway. Albon in trouble. Why is Albon in trouble? Lap time wise? Oh yeah, doesn't have the pace, but interestingly, neither does Hamilton. Charles Leclerc going a lap quicker than Hamilton there. Because Hamilton's on the mediums. Maybe the mediums is not the tyre. I'm not sure Hamilton's on a good strat here. I don't think Hamilton's going to make it to the end. 38 degrees track temp, same as the human body, I think. Is that right? How's my biology? Leclerc will pass Hadjar. No, I don't think Hamilton's going to make it to the end. I think Antonelli is in huge trouble. And I think Leclerc actually will overtake... Well, Hadjar's on a good strat here. Hadjar's on a good strat. Piastri overtook 900 drivers. He's about to overtake Albon as well. Yeah, Piastri makes it look easy on Albon. So Piastri to P3. So Piastri's 12 seconds behind Lando, but he's lost half a second there. Welcome Fernando Alfonso to the chat. Is this the same track as Senna Crash? Yes, it is. And Roland Ratzenberger. Let's not forget, everyone only talks about Senna. But it was just a horrific weekend all round, wasn't it? A real black mark on the sport that weekend. Based on the quali crashes, McLaren should have expected the VSC. Well, I mean, I'm sure they do. It's a bit like insurance people. What's the name for a person at insurance? You work out the likelihood of an event happening. I'm sure the F1 teams have those kind of people as well. Davey, 37 degrees. I'm never good at taking my temperature. When I was in Brazil, I had a fever actually. When I was in Sao Paulo, but I felt absolutely fine. But the doctor was like, "No, you have a temperature, bro." Franz Herman from another planet. Yes, indeed. So Piastri makes light work of Alex Albon. Easy. And 18 seconds for Verstappen to Norris. 23 laps to go. Does anyone not think Verstappen's going to win? Anyone not think Verstappen's going to win? And what happened? A lot has happened, actually. A lot has happened. 1,500 people watching. Chat, 1,500 people watching. 250 likes. Please, please, please hit that like button right now. Smash that like button on YouTube. Hit it. Like. I just feel like we can get to 500 likes super easy. Chat, you know what to do. The established people in chat. Let's get to 500 likes. That'd be amazing. The like spike, I think Dexterity calls it. Deploy your likes. That was my saying. It's time to deploy the likes now. Like it's an assault on the in a military sense, not in like in a criminal sense. Fernando saying it's going to be a torture. All of the time you need to lever the torture. So Verstappen is looking comfortable here. He's going to hit some traffic though. I wonder if there's going to be again, this is going to be really bad on strat because some people, if you can't get to the end on the mediums, you're absolutely screwed. So Hamilton, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda might genuinely be in massive trouble here because they might need to box again. They might need to box again. And if you do you go on the softs till the end then? Or are they just going to absolutely fall apart? Hannah McGarry, if Norris wins, how many points they give him the championship? Well, he's not going to win, but they've given 25 points. But I say he's not going to win. Ferrari up to P5 and P6. Welcome, Captain Howdy. Dark Cloud likes in other languages. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Piastri's got the fast lap, but there's no point fastest lap, which I don't agree with. I quite like the point fastest lap. I think point for pole position. Arguably that makes it more dominant though. Maybe point for most overtakes. Imagine if they did a point for driver of the day. That's like Formula E used to do their fan boost. You could literally just like boost a driver on track by like tweeting. Insane. In theory, there could be a meteorite falling on Max's car. Yeah, it could happen. The only one who can stop Verstappen now is his engine or some traffic. This is the thing. It's a very good point there. Like back in the day in Formula 1, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you wouldn't know now if someone's engine was going to blow. But right now, I know something happened in Ocon, but these cars are just so reliable. Bit of debris on the outside of Yuki Tsunoda's car. That might be from the contact he had earlier with Carlos Sainz. You say Bortoleto might hinder Verstappen, or Verstappen's already passed. And Verstappen lapping quicker than Norris and Piastri. Why have I gone out of focus when I'm chewing? Like a is it vampires you can't focus on? Point for Tsunoda would be insane. I think Tsunoda's in bad trouble. Alonso is going to be torture. It's a wreck. I'm the unluckiest driver in the world. Yeah, oh my god. Fernando, bro, what are you doing? What is that strat? What is that strategy? That is literally the world's worst strategy. On 31 lap hards. And there's still 20 laps to go. You are screwed, my friend. Buckle in. Aston Martin, you have thrown that away. Colapinto being told to swap the positions. No way they're going to tell Gasly to get out of the way of Colapinto. No way. Flavio Briatore, what are you doing? Chat, no way Gasly is going to pull over for Colapinto. Surely it must have been the other way around. Surely they're not going to tell Gasly to get out of the way of Colapinto. Surely not. How is Flavio Briatore still involved in Formula 1? Dutch live block message scenario board radios. I don't know what you mean board radios. George had a bad strat, yeah, but that, I mean the Alonso strat is absolutely comical. Like, it's a horrendous strategy. Surely they swapped Gasly ahead of Colapinto. That's what must have happened. And now Verstappen's catching Colapinto, Gasly, Stroll, Alonso, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Sainz. I think will all be in the mix to get overtaken. The Argentine Mafia must have some compromat on Flavio. He does strike me as the kind of gentleman that could possibly have some compromat. I don't think I've said anything like out of line there. Dravid decree Max in more dirty air now. Yeah, but Norris will hit that dirty air as well. Will there be team orders from McLaren? Dave says. It's a good point. It's a long way to do team orders. This is a like button. There's actually a WhatsApp button on it. Ah, I can't wait to do... You know, I can actually get this working on the Logitech. I could actually sim race here on the Logitech with the new adapter thing, which I have. I bought 2 adapters, and I haven't yet adapted them to anything. The Verstappen-Norris gap stable at 18 years, managing it. Yeah, Captain Howdy's got the radio. Enver, I think Alpine is trying to make Colapinto seem better since it doesn't make a difference. So people would agree with their decision. Maybe. Antonelli, yellow flag! VSO, oh, it's all chaining again! Antonelli, yellow flag! Again on the run up the hill. VSC, surely. VSC, surely. Oh, he's also on the grass. But he's... Safety car! Safety car's out. Put the safety car emoji in the chat. Safety car. This changes everything. This changes everything. Advantage McLaren. I think safety car. Kimi Antonelli comes to a stop on the grass the same way. Ferrari are out for tyres. Who's going to box now? Okay, if you're on the mediums now, you box for mediums again. So on the mediums, you box again for mediums. It's still not great, but you boxed again. Safety car's out there behind George Russell. Verstappen boxes. Is he going to come out ahead of Lando? What do McLaren do? Do they box both Norris and Piastri? Is there enough time? I think there is enough time under safety car. Ah, Verstappen comes out again. He'll come out on fresh mediums probably, or maybe fresh hards, whichever is. They might not have fresh mediums actually. So is Norris going to box? Are they going to box both McLarens? I'm just interested here, like, do they box Piastri or not? Do they box Piastri or not? Oh. 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 Ooh. Okay. So they haven't boxed Piastri. He's got track position. Oh, Albon's coming through as well. Oh, Albon looks like he might be passed. Surely not. No, they can't overtake like that. So Piastri is going to be in the queue on older tyres. That could be terrible. I feel like they should have obviously boxed both of them. I feel like that's a terrible strat for Oscar Piastri. No, seriously, I feel like it's a terrible strat because he's going to be really vulnerable to... Well, actually, Leclerc didn't pit. Why did Leclerc not pit? This just worked out great for Verstappen again. Like, he's got another free pit stop. I'm surprised. Obviously, Hamilton's pitted. I've no idea why Nico Hulkenberg hasn't pitted. I've no idea why Yuki Tsunoda hasn't pitted. Like, unless they think the safety car is going to go on for quite a few laps. But it should be the same to recover. It's interesting why they didn't need a full safety car for Ocon, but literally the same thing has happened for Antonelli, but they need a safety car now. Interesting. Explain that one, aliens.
Okay, crack on.
They didn't go to VSC, they went straight to safety car. So, Alfonso Stroll able to box. Kimi Antonelli's walking out of the car. So, Kimi Antonelli's walked off now. I think, if you have a look at the map, I think basically Antonelli's gone a little bit further up the hill, which is a bit more dangerous. That's what I would, that's how I would summarise it. Major in TikTok saying they should have boxed Piastri for sure. They had a free pit stop opportunity for Piastri. And now Albon boxes. So now Albon's going to be on fresh tyres. So they've decided to box. Do you box Russell? Do you box Russell here? Or do you keep track position? I feel like you keep track position in that Mercedes. They didn't box Sainz, because Sainz would lose so many positions. Hamilton pit stop, none from Leclerc. So apparently there was no tyres for Leclerc, okay. Leclerc's done so many pit stops anyway, hasn't he? Albon's pitted now. It's the FIA fault that Briatore is back. F1 fan since 76. Do you remember the James Hunt and Nicky Lauda season in 76, Isaacs? Michael McLaren scared of the double stack. I just feel like this is very bad for Piastri because he's not going to be hold up Lando. He's lucky Charles Leclerc hasn't pitted. I'm slightly surprised they didn't put anything different on Charles Leclerc's car though. Matt, put the stream on large TVs and laptop chat. That's the optimal. A lot of people do this stream in two. People have it on the TV. I'm streaming in 4K, I think. 40p. Could Leclerc still pit now? Oh, he's in the queue, and Lando's holding him up. No, it'd be silly to pit now because he's going to lose all this. Don't pit him. Don't pit him. Don't pit him. Okay. Surely that car's recovered. So I'm just seeing what happened on pit exit with Lando and Alex Albon. Oh, it was a really bad stop from McLaren. The front right was just late arriving. Really stupid. And then was Alex Albon ahead of him? Oh, Albon didn't want to risk it. Albon didn't want to risk it. If I was Alex Albon there, I would have overtaken Lando on pit exit and said to the team, do I need to give the position back? That's what I would have done as a racing driver myself. Where did Max's lead go, John Nelson? It's a safety car, so I told you about virtual safety car before. When there's a more serious incident and they really need to slow the race down, they put a safety car out, which is actually a very fast car generally, but compared to Formula 1 cars, quite slow. And it basically drives in front of the pack, and it puts the pack into a small snake, which gives the marshals more time when the snake is not at the instant part of the circuit to get on and sweep stuff and move a car, etc. The VSC slows the cars down, but it doesn't compress them into a small snake, so there's not a lot of gaps. So that's what they've done here. They're allowing cars that are lapped to go ahead of the safety car and join that snake. So it takes quite a while in terms of time for it all to work, but they're doing very slow laps now. So this lap will be like a 2-minute 20 or something probably. But obviously they're doing much faster lap. They're going twice as slow essentially. Chai is saying safety car will take a while longer. Yeah, every situation is different. There's an element of discretion. These situations are actually quite similar. But this one they've decided to put out a safety car, so there's a lot of discretion there. I was actually in Monaco last week in race control, and I asked the FIA lots of questions that are coming in a video. And I said, can I move the cameras? And like, no, you can't. But I wanted to move all the cameras and stuff. Leclerc, I'm looking if we can finish in the points or not. I'm not being pessimistic. These tyres are going to be incredibly difficult to restart. Losers right now, Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz. Don't even get me started. What Tsunoda's doing on 20-lap-old mediums, I really don't know. But no worries, Tom. Any more questions? By the way, if you want to see the videos on, like, when I go to race control and stuff, if a mod can put in the link to the Motorsport channel, that Motorsport channel is where a lot of those videos go and are going to go. And after this stream, on this channel, there's going to be a premiere, which is like a live event like this, straight after this, where I interview Dan Ticktum, who is one of the fastest race drivers in the world, but very controversial because he got banned for 2 years for, well, we speak about it in the video, so you got that to look forward to as well. And this week we'll be doing a lot of sim racing. Almost 2,000 people watching on YouTube and 352 people watching on TikTok, which is awesome. Why is Antonelli out? His car came to a stop up the hill. So now you can see the snake, right? So you see that snake. So in between turn 7 and turn 9, basically, 8 isn't really a corner. The marshals have more time now to get that car. And actually, when I was at Monaco, I saw, there we go, mods. So if you want to, if you like what I'm talking about, just pop over there quickly and subscribe. When I was in Monaco, I saw a big crash at the last corner of Monaco with Antonio Felix da Costa, and I videoed the whole thing on how they recover it, what the marshals do, how the safety car works, how they winch it up, which I'm going to narrate and put into this video. And when I was at Spa a few years ago, I saw a big crash at Eau Rouge, and again I recorded the whole thing. So those videos will go on the Motorsport channel, which is going to be pretty cool. Do I cover other races beside F1? I cover a lot of Formula E, and I want to do more WEC, so Le Mans 24 Hours is coming up as well. So safety car is still out. I think the safety car may potentially come in this lap, because I think the car has been recovered. There's a giant lizard on the track! Can you hear that, chat? Can you hear that? Those players. Thank you so much for the $5, by the way. 00083, the 83rd of the Zero Clan. Chat, please put your thumbs up in the chat for that donation from Zero. $5 donation. Very, very, very generous. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Especially I've got all this travel coming up, trying to shoot the content. So $5 is very significant. Thank you very much. There wasn't a lizard on the track, but there was a rabbit on the track, and the rabbit unfortunately got run over. Piastri tyres look really bad. I think McLaren have balls this up by not boxing Oscar Piastri. Chat, please do put your claps out in chat there for Zero. Celebrate the donation as part of the community, supporting us all. It's very, very, very generous. So please do give your claps. Captain safety car looks like it's flat out. I am going to Le Mans, but I'm going for... I think I'm going for the Le Mans Classic, Historic or something. Safety car is not in this lap, unless I've missed it. I don't think it's in this lap. You'd expect the pad to back up, so hopefully it's going to be in next lap. I don't think that rabbit survived, to be fair.
Keep trying.
There we go. Kimitsu giving the crown. So when this race restarts... Well, they haven't let Behrman out yet. They've got to let Ollie Behrman through. Like, it's taking a very long time, this safety car. Yeah, DTM would be awesome, considering I speak with DTM drivers like Pascal Wehrlein, youngest ever DTM World Champion. Interview with Pascal Wehrlein coming soon on the channel, where I gave him the Fanatec Porsche VGT wheel, and you can hear Pascal's thoughts on that. So Oliver Behrman has been released. So I think he is the lapped car that's been released there. Yeah, is the Indy 500 today? Chat, is Indy 500 today? Is it on Sky? We could do a cheeky... no, I need to record some stuff. Ugh. We'll see. Oh, Delta, definitely in our Discord, let us know any tips you got for the Classic, including what I should wear. So a safety car, I reckon, surely should come in this lap. We don't need to wait for Behrman to catch the back of the train. Size X, I was Spa 2008 when Lewis Hamilton crashed at the top of the hill and JB went on to win. Yeah, Piastri's just going to hold Lando up here. Like, I genuinely don't understand why they've done this. It's fantastic news for Verstappen. If I was McLaren, I'd actually just swap them now. Oh, Indy's next weekend. Oh, they do qualifying the week before. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's always the same weekend as Monaco, isn't it? Okay. I will be... Yeah, okay, great. That's good, because I can record my stuff today. Safety car's still not coming in. Guys, what are we doing here, man? It's not the 63 laps of safety car. Is it legal to swap during a safety car? I think so. Why would it... I mean... Surely it has to be legal. This is where it blurs the lines between being a team sport and a driver sport. I think Formula 1 is basically a driver sport. I think we really care about the drivers. But whenever I tweet about this, people are like, oh, it's a team sport. Like, team orders are fine. I'm like, team orders don't make sense to people. Like, when you watch a football match, there's no collusion going on between the two teams. There shouldn't be. Or a rugby match or American, whatever. It's like you watching two teams or two athletes give their all. But when you have team orders, that's so unusual in sport, I think, that even though people are like, oh yeah, obviously F1 is a team sport, I don't think it's that obvious. So I don't like it when there's team orders. I don't like it when the sprint race last year at Brazil or wherever it was, Piastri was winning and then gave it to Lando, because I think it makes a mockery of it, and then they do all the fireworks and they put Lando as a winner in a big 3D thing in space. It's not actually the winner. So I would actually rather if Formula 1 wasn't a team sport, if it was just a driver sport. That's just me. I'm not that nerdy about the team aspect. If you look at something like Formula E now, they have a powertrain champions basically. So like when a Porsche powertrain wins, Porsche are like, yes, we won. And it's like, it's a bit confusing because it's like, no, that wasn't Andretti. Kimmy's out, he retired. Kimmy retired. Not a very successful GP for Kimi, unfortunately. Okay, safety car is coming in, so we're going to have 10 laps of racing here. It's going to be a 10-lap sprint to the line. Ironically, the long safety car might help some of the people on really worn tyres to survive. So Verstappen is going to lead everyone away. And I just wonder how... Keep an eye out for the radio messages between Piastri and Lando. And Alex Albon, you know, is the driver on the freshest tyres there, actually. So 10 laps to go. Surely Verstappen is going to nail this restart. Nail the restart. Yeah, Kimi invite all the classmates. That was an exciting race. I mean, there's plenty more times. Well, not to come back to Imola, actually. I'm sure he'll be at Monza plenty of times in the future. So, it is still Piastri... Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Albon, and then Russell. It was a good restart for Verstappen, by the way. Very clean and tidy restart. I predict Verstappen is just going to be able to have a big gap here because Piastri's on worn tyres. And it would have been interesting to see Lando right behind Verstappen on the restart. Well, but next weekend, 3 great races. Is there a NASCAR race as well? Monza or Silverstone? Well, I've been to Silverstone, I've been to Monza, but I don't really rate Silverstone that much. I much prefer... Well... Oh! Sainz and Hamilton going side by side. Look at the gap now for Verstappen. I feel like McLaren have just absolutely gifted this. They've gifted it to Max Verstappen here. Tsunoda in the point on his really worn medium tyres, but he's going to come under pressure as well. He's going to come under massive pressure. Huge pressure. I mean, it's interesting that there's such a mixture of tyres here. Maybe some of the drivers on fresher tyres are just playing it a little bit cool. They feel like they don't need to rush it too much, I imagine. Oh, the Coke 600. Okay. It's a big weekend of motorsports. Verstappen already with a 2-second gap. I think we need to reevaluate this season. This does make a safety car infringement for Alex Albon. That might be the way that he temporarily overtook Lando Norris, but he gave it back very quickly, so I don't imagine that'll be a problem. I'd be surprised. Tsunoda went round the outside of Hulkenberg at the top of the hill. Oh, no, he didn't. Hulkenberg defended. Ah, Tsunoda did the cutback. Very, very, very nice. They've got the Binance.com overtake as well. Look at Verstappen checking out here. So now we have to ask the question, can Piastri hold up Lando? This is not what McLaren would have wanted, but it's where we are. Is Piastri going to hold up Lando, or is Lando going to say, hey, you need to let me through team orders because I can get after Verstappen? Actually, McLaren have swapped positions here. This could be very cynical from McLaren to kind of keep Piastri ahead of Lando. Yeah, Chaya's got the question exactly right there, in my opinion. Yeah, no further investigation for Lando under safety car infringement. I think that's the right decision. Chat, let's have another like spike. 2,000 people watching. Smash that like button. We can get to the massive likes. We can do it. So Piastri has 8 laps to stay ahead of Lando Norris. Then Charles Leclerc is ahead of Alex Albon. George Russell is also on ancient tyres. Can Hamilton get ahead of George Russell, his ex-teammate? Carlos Sainz also involved. And then Hadjar. It'd be very tidy for Hadjar to pick up some points as well. And, you know, you've got to feel for the Aston Martins here. From P5 and P8 on the grid to P13 and P15. Captain Howdy saying Max is purple. Max is checking out. It's the Franz Hermann strat here. McLaren using Ferrari strategies. Just keep an eye on the radio. You know, if you're Lando here, there's not a race win on the line, but if you've got the pace, Are you really gonna stay behind? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Purple means fastest. So purple means you set fastest sector or fastest lap out of anyone on track. Green means it's your fastest. So Verstappen checking out 4 seconds. What lap did Max overtake? Max did one of the best ever overtakes on the start I've ever seen on lap 1. It was a generational overtake. Fade says Franz Hermann on fire. Yes, indeed. What happened to Kimi? His engine... He had an issue with the car. He came to a stop, basically. Causing a safety car, but no danger, no damage. No visible damage, anyway. 6 laps to go. Lando 3. Oh, they're going to swap! Have they done a swap? Lando now ahead of Oscar. Was that a swap? Was that a swap? Gonna have a look. So I came into 17. Oscar on those ancient tyres. Was it a swap? Did Oscar go defensive? He went over the start-finish line. There was a big speed difference. Oh my god, it wasn't that straightforward. Basically, Lando went round the outside. So, but Piastri's just been done here on the strat. The question is, McLaren, again, not looking that super sophisticated on the strategy, because they may as well have just done this from the start and just had, from the restart, and had Lando be able to technically put some pressure on Verstappen. They're going to look really stupid now if Lando matches Verstappen on lap times for the remainder of the GP. It's going to look stupid. Dean says too late for a swap. Well, they have swapped. Albon going to get Leclerc any moment. Albon looking for it into turn 1. Is it going to happen? Oh, not quite, I think. Close. Why Snowder 28 laps old? Just bad strategy. Yeah, Piastri. That could have been a huge accident, to be fair. Like when Lando chopped across to get the move done, he wasn't quite clear of Oscar. Oscar had to make another movement on the wheel. So there's a little bit of a rough move from Lando. And that's probably overstating it. It wasn't. Oscar didn't let him through. And yeah, Albon not able to get past Charles Leclerc. This is bringing Lewis Hamilton back into play. To be a very tidy result here for the Tifosi. Welcome, Da Vinci. Hey, Doug. Do you think the FIA deliberately threw the safety car to help Ferrari? I mean, Leclerc, very impressive doing this on 29 lap old tyres. 4 laps to go. Will be, yeah, still 4 laps to go. Let's hope for those drivers on the really worn tyres are not going to completely fall off a cliff. Why wouldn't you let Lando through? Well, if you are, why not do it earlier? Is kind of the question. Max has fast lap of the race. Yes, indeed. 17.9. Significantly faster than anyone else, actually. Hamilton with a pretty good lap. 18.4 he did at some point. And Hamilton's got past Albon now. So Albon's gone from the hunted to being hunted. So Tifosi P4 and 5 is pretty much as good as they could have hoped for. It's a disaster for Mercedes here. Russell's had a pretty solid start to the season. What happened with Albon? Albon tried to run... Oh, okay. Oh my god. So Albon was trying to go around the outside of Leclerc. Leclerc put him into the gravel in turn 1. Albon had to completely cut the corner through the gravel. Dirty tyres, and that allowed Hamilton through. That might be investigated. I suspect Alex Albon isn't too fair. That wasn't fair. Saying on the radio. Size X Max has won me a lot of pounds. So, was Alex Albon given enough space? Oh, It's brave to go around the outside there. He does say it wasn't fair. He was alongside. He is probably technically entitled to the space, actually. You know what? I think that could be a penalty for Charles Leclerc. And Hamilton's now past Leclerc as well. Leclerc didn't give any space to Alex Albon. So I reckon that could be a penalty, actually. Robert says championship is up for grabs. Yeah, because Piastri's dropping back as well. Like, McLaren have just hurt themselves here by not... If they'd put Piastri on... If they boxed him, this could have gone different. Hamilton now. How's Hamilton doing compared to Oscar Piastri? He's only going to be 2 laps to go. Only 2 laps to go, so I wouldn't expect any miracles here. Can Hamilton catch Piastri in 3 laps? I don't think so. But... No. Norris is the one on the move. So to be fair, Norris isn't matching... Not that you necessarily need to at this stage, but Norris isn't matching Verstappen on pace. It's just worked out great for Verstappen. It reminds me of was it Zandvoort last year? When Red Bull just timed it perfectly. By the way, I feel like some people are talking about last season, like McLaren, like a McLaren driver won. Like Verstappen still won the championship. I think people forget that sometimes. Like, if we zoom out of this season and Verstappen does win this season, it will just be 5 championships in a row. We won't think about, oh, McLaren were, you know, faster car at some stage. Hamilton just needs to get DRS. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong gap. Yeah, he's 1.5 ahead, but we're going to be on the last lap. But an eye then between Hamilton and Piastri. Worth keeping an eye on, actually, yeah? 1.8 seconds. He won't get DRS here though, and this is where he would need 1 more lap really. Well, but Hamilton, the fighter pilot. Sorry, I mean, this is Zandvoort the year before where it rained. Whichever one where it rained, and there were like 3 different restarts, and they just nailed it for Verstappen. And Perez got screwed. Alex Albon coming back at Leclerc now. Oh, there we go. Albon gets the move done on Leclerc easily. So those tyres have really gone off for Leclerc. You can see he's 3 seconds a lap slower, which is problematic because George Russell's only 1.8 behind. Keep an eye on Charles Leclerc here. He could be in big trouble. He's the slowest driver on the circuit, apart from Bortoletto. We've got some hungry drivers behind him. 1.6 now for Russell. And Hamilton to Piastri ain't gonna happen. Charles has to give back the... Oh, okay, he's giving back the position. But does Lewis Hamilton have to give it back then as well? This is the interesting thing, right? Hamilton driver of the day. Yeah, so Verstappen does go over and wins the Imola GP. Is Verstappen actually going to win, unbelievably, the 2025 F1 season? Like, people keep writing him off, big Franz Hermann, but then he keeps doing stuff like this. He did it in Suzuka. He was going to do it in Jeddah. And he's done it here. Like, if he can get on the front row of the grid, you can't write off Max Verstappen to win the Grand Prix. That is insane. And then it is Lando, Piastri, Hamilton, Albon, Charles Leclerc in 6th, George Russell 7th, Carlos Sainz 8th, Hadjar 9th, and Tsunoda, impressively, from last to 10th. I guess impressively. He is in the car that won. But we'll give him to that. And yeah, double points for Williams there as well. And Hadjar destroying Lawson. Like, Liam Lawson, Hadjar just must be so much quicker than Liam Lawson. As uncomfortable as that might be, that has to be the case. Chat, what an exciting race. You're putting your driver to the day in. People saying agreed Hamilton. I mean, surely Max Verstappen has to be driver of the day as well. He got very lucky with the strategy. He had a 44-second gap over Oscar Piastri at one stage. Obviously, then there was a safety car, but he's still finishing with 12 seconds over championship rival Piastri. And with the way McLaren does it, you know, he's got even more points back on Piastri. No worries, Paul. Definitely go to Indy, Matt, I would say. Enver, honestly, Max has been able to get good results with the unimproved car even his hit. Thank you so much, Zero.
From so far back, and again, it was kind of like the last lap. I had to give him the space. It was an awkward move, and I don't think it was ever going to work, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I still did it. Thank you so much, 083, for the $5 again. Chat, please get your claps out there for Zero. Please like it as well. If McLaren keeps a bottle ending strategy, then yes, Max will win. I just wonder, with whatever Red Bull have done to the car, Verstappen is being engraved onto the trophy as we speak. Personally, I would have started doing that as soon as the VSC came out. In hindsight, they should have pitted Piastri. Yeah, well, they had nothing to lose, did they? They had nothing to lose with boxing Piastri there, so he was always going to lose that position anyway. No worries, Martin. No further action for Leclerc and Albon. Oh, Size X, thank you so much for the £2. Chat, please give your claps out and chat again for Size X. Gonna put the Verstappen emoji. Thank you so much, Size X. I really appreciate it. Means a lot. Very generous. Oh, the clap's coming out. Love to see it. Eben, Yuki driver of the day from 20th to 10 gets the point. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda. Interesting one. I think he was in the wars a lot. There was a lot going on with Tsunoda, but yeah, increasing 10 places. Hamilton up 8 places. Then Verstappen. Great for Lando as well. I mean, I think he was hoping to get a podium. The Mercedes pace was absolutely terrible. It's really bad Mercedes pace. Carlos, which lap are they? It's all done now. The race is done. We're just kind of chilling. Bortoletto had a bit of damage, affecting his downforce. Thanks, Michael. Even especially after his crash, that is super impressive. I mean, but Max Verstappen, to put that Red Bull, is great for Formula One. That we have this mixture between the best driver is not in the best car, and the best car doesn't seem to have the best drivers. Arguably, I don't want this to sound too harsh, but arguably it puts a question mark on just how good Oscar Piastri is, because the McLaren is so good. Like, and this is the question that came up when Max said, if I was in the McLaren, you wouldn't even see me, I'd be so far ahead. But what if you put Charles Leclerc in that McLaren? What if you put George Russell in that McLaren? Clearly a lot of it is to do with the car. Verstappen, who's taking a break from his sim racing to do this Grand Prix, that's great. Hamilton's pretty happy, getting a P4 for the Ferrari fans. Thanks, Chaya. There will be a premiere after this stream very shortly, but make sure to check that out as well. Thanks, VNEC. Max Drive Day is nonsense, T. Defend yourself. Why is it nonsense? Let us know. Why is it nonsense, Max's Drive of the Day? If Max and McLaren would be leading the points, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Mohammed Ben Sulayem is on the ground. Congratulates Max. Monsieur Sulayem. It makes Max one of, if not the best, other legends. Chat, where does Max rank at this moment in time in terms of the all-time great racing drivers? Does Max Verstappen now rank above Lewis Hamilton? Oscar Piastri gives Max a shake. I think any racing driver, even if you're the driver that's been overtaken, will respect the move that Verstappen did. Mark van Windenberg says third. Druva says 1. Dragos Schumacher level. Chat, where do you rank Max? Dean, he's up there. Yeah, but let's talk fact. Let's talk numbers. We're saying top 3. Thanks Fiona, Astley, Light, Julian or TV as well. For subscribing. T only 1 overtake, and lucky with safety cars. Yeah, but I'm just saying. Oh, David Coulthard, all DC. I was chatting with him in Monaco. I asked him what it's like to get the champagne. Size, no, he doesn't rank above Sir Lewis Hamilton. Nürburgring, Max, McLaren New Time, Chris says we unbeatable. Thanks so much, Michael, for the Australian $5 as well. I appreciate it. I know you've been a prolific supporter. Chat, please get your claps out for Michael. Where's my mouse? Please give your claps to Michael there for the Australian $5 donation. Chef's kiss. The support has been absolutely insane. It's been incredible. I really appreciate it, and we'll be back from Monaco, which I'll be streaming, I think, from Amsterdam. And so much exciting content coming, so much motorsport content coming, so much sim racing content coming. Just really hope you keep enjoying it, because if you keep enjoying it, keep supporting it, it's giving me more access now. Like the fact SimLab gave me this wheel for review, and it's the actual F1 wheel, like it's just the F1 wheel. How cool is that? Does it not focus? Oh yeah. I'm not even joking, like this is the F1 wheel. Even has a WhatsApp button. John, best driver of this era. John, didn't you say you're new to F1? You're already calling Verstappen the GOAT. Strong. Say hi to the Dan to me. Second favourite city. What's the best city? Lando looks quite chilled. I think Lando's got the advantage of the strategy there, which is, you know, sometimes it goes in your favour. No worries, Michael. I hope you enjoyed it as always. Oscar Piastri, a lot of us were backing at the beginning of the race. Still a P3 though. Still a P3, and if you want to win championships, that's still big points, you know. New York City. That's where I was trying this wheel previously, actually. John says, Chris, there's no way you believe that statement. What? That he's better than Lewis Hamilton? A lot of people believe that statement. I think a lot of people believe it. So as we go into Monaco, where, oh my god, Monaco qualifying, so like Saturday. And by the way, I need to, we're going to be doing a watch along for qualifying. It could be a really exciting one, basically. So I just got to finalise that today. Finalise an itinerary. But yeah, that could be exciting. Could be exciting. And then it's Spain the week after. Oh my god. For the last Catalonian GP, which is disgraceful. Like, the Catalonia track is just so good. I might listen into the cooldown room if you want and let you know what they're saying. So Verstappen's just giving his interview and I'll listen to the cooldown room. No worries, play chimp. And bear in mind, we have a premiere going live in like maybe 5-10 minutes. Interview with Dan Tickton. So yeah, Kathleen is going off and this terrible Madrid circuit's coming on. I suspect lots of money has changed hands for that one. Which is a shame because I really like Catalonia. I think it has great strategy. It's so punishing on the tyres. It can get really hot as well. Can rain sometimes as well. I don't think it's close, but yes, definitely top 3. I think Verstappen is very legitimately in the GOAT conversation. You can't exclude him from the GOAT conversation. Essentially. Bear with me a second. Bear with me. John, first time watching, it's been amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. We didn't quite get to 500 likes. I suspect we just don't, we're just too nice. We need to be more like, let's everyone hit the like button. Maybe I need a full screen white that's like, hit the like button or something like that. Yeah, Verstappen's still giving his interview, and then when they go in the cool down room, I'll take a listen in and let you know what they're saying.
Keep trying.
I wonder what Max is going to say to Oscar about turn 1. I think Piastri I suspect with the character of Piastri, he'll know that in terms of the championship, it's still a good result for him, basically. Right, might be cool down. Try and take a listen. See if I can see what they're saying. Franz Hermann, yeah. He's going to win the Nürburgring 24 hours as well. Like, it's like, he's so good, he will definitely win in WEC if and when he goes there. You know, if Aston Martin was still really involved with Red Bull... Okay, cool down, let me listen in. Oscar's just chilling. See what they're saying. He's just chilling. Oh, there's no mics. Oscar's just chilling, watching it. They're not that very. They're not. I think they know there's a championship battle on the line. It's really confusing because Sky just like talking over the cool down room, so it's quite difficult to work out what's going on. But I think they all know they're in a big championship battle essentially. Yeah, it's post race right now. It's post race, and I just want to let you know that very shortly we are going to go to the premiere of the interview with Dan Ticktum. Oops. So I will pin that as I'm trying to do the premiere. If you do want to see a interview with Dan Ticktum, that is coming in like a minute. I will be going there. Bradley, too young to remember, likes to send a bit for me. Schumacher number 1, Hamilton, Verstappen joint second, followed by Sebastian Vettel. Thanks, Snowline. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time over here on this Sunday as well. I appreciate it. I'm going to say goodbye to our friends on TikTok. So thank you so much, everyone on TikTok who's joined. 8,000 people. Pretty cool. So the longer you go live, the more viewers you might have. You can't fool me, TikTok. I'm done on TikTok. But yeah, Monaco next week. Monaco. I'm going to try and get a lot of Monaco content up on the channel before Monaco from my trip to Monaco. Like walking the track, talking about F1 stuff, obviously Formula E stuff as well. So that should be super exciting. But chat, I'm going to end this stream now, but please, please, please do go to the premiere that's about to start. And I'll put the link in there twice. It should take you automatically. It's going to be a really cool interview with Dan Ticktum at Monaco, so you can see how racing drives fine. And I do take this wheel with him, so you will see this wheel over there as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I will see you for a lot more streams coming up, F1 streams and such. But I will see you now in the premiere. I'll see you there.